Molweni Badase, welcome to the start of a new vlog, a new video. If you're new here, my name is Subile Togaza, and I hope you stay, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you like the video. And if you're a returning stubby, a woman called Belgium Dasa, I hope you guys are doing good. It's a Monday, cold Monday today, and I decided to do this video. It's something that I've been wanting to do since the time I found out I was pregnant, but I don't think I was ready at that time to do it. So now that I am ready, I'm like, let's just get right into it, you know? So how I got pregnant, let's start there, right? We can't do that because everyone knows how someone gets pregnant, right? Right. So how I found out I was pregnant. It was in September, August, September, somewhere there we too. So I had came back from a trip, right? Because I left home going to PE to go relax. Yonke laa nto, kubone. Okay, let's start over. So how I found out I was pregnant, right? I have this app, Flow app. I'm sure some of you guys might know about it. We track your periods and symptoms and whatnot. So yeah, I have that app. So on that app, I usually, according to the app though, I usually have my periods a day or 2 days before the actual date that is written on the app, right? Or sometimes on the day, and it's never late, like ever. It's either a day early or 2 days early or on the date, which is very rare for it to be on the date. It's usually a day or two earlier. So right. So it happened that I was late. I only found out when I was 2 days late. I was like, hey man, I haven't got my periods this month. Like, where is it? So when I checked the app, it told me that I was 2 days late. 2 days late? What do you mean? You know? So at that time when I saw it, I was like, maybe it's still coming. Let me just not think about it. I don't even want to go into it, you know? And then on the next day, I'll be back. So where was I? Right. So when I was the next day, right? Then I saw that I was 3 days late. That's when I started to panic. I'm like, Aibo, don't tell me. Don't tell me this is it, you know? So I texted Mfana like, Mfana, I'm 3 days late, and then it's never happened before. So eating into like, what should I do? He was also confused into what do you mean? What should you do? Like, just do the test, you know? Because that's the first thing came to mind. Go, yeah. I'm like, no, we don't have to do that. Like, I was really scared. I'm like, we don't have to do that. It's not like it's not happening. You know, I'm not pregnant. You know, I even prayed about it. Mama, please God, let it not be it. Let it not be it. You know, but it was like, nah, just do it. You know, and then I think on the fourth day, that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it because it's never been this long. Banding as funny period time. So I told him I'm gonna buy it, right? But I told him that I'm gonna buy it on a Sunday, which was gonna be 6th day, because according to my best friend Uban Google, yes, my best friend Google told me I should wait for about 6 to 7 days after like in the missile so that it can be accurate, right? So that time it was the third day. So I was like, I be too. I'm gonna buy it on Sunday. It was a Thursday, I mean, and then the 6th day was gonna be on Sunday. So I said I'm gonna buy it on Sunday after church, right? But after church on Sunday, I was like, yo, I can't do it because I was with Abantu Bikawe and we were on our way to the taxi rank. So the Pick and Pay that I was gonna buy at is at the taxi rank, and everyone is there. I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna buy the next day when I go buy toiletries on, which is gonna be on Monday. That day on Monday was the 7th day after I've missed my periods corner. So Nyanike, when I went to go buy my toiletries on the Monday morning, I also bought the pregnancy test, right? Then I came back from home. I mean, I decided not to do it because according to my best friend, Google, Ugel told me I should do it. I can't. I have to do it like in the morning so that it can be more accurate. I was like, okay, sure, my friend. So I decided to do on the on the Tuesday, which was like 8 days later. Nyanke. Tuesday morning, I woke up and I was so scared, but I ended up doing the test. And my mother was on the other room. So I went to the toilet to go do it. And don't sis, ngizaqabanga ukuva. Ngizaqabanga ukuthatha sis ne. Yeah. So Nyanike, on the 8th day I did it, and my mom was on the other room. I did it at toilet, and then as soon as I peed on the stick, I ran to the room. I put it under the bed, just in case she walks into the our bedroom. Ibe angayiboni, because one thing about my mom, she doesn't knock. No one knocks in the bedroom. Okay, we just go in. Yeah, so I put it under the bed just in case, and then I started reading the instructions. Like what a line means, what the one line can you two lines, like in njalo njalo. The things that's written on the box with man. So I started reading that while I wait. Nyanike, I think I waited for like 5 minutes, but I added, it was supposed to be 5 minutes, but I added time because I was so nervous. Nyanike, a few minutes later, Nyanike, I took the stick out and it was 2 lines. Same time, I took a picture of a stick and I sent it to the mfana. I'm like, nanzo-ke into, apparently we have a stranger on the way. And for him, he was like excited, he was happy about it, even though he was kind of scared a bit, but he was more excited than I was. More than anything, I was scared. Like, I was scared. I'm like, like, guys, what am I going to tell my parents that I'm pregnant? I was still 23 at the time, right? Because I gave birth when I was 24. I was 23 at the time when I found out I was pregnant. So I was like, Sana, I'm still a teenager. What am I going to say? And like, who's going to tell the parent? Like, I'm going to be a parent. Yeah. So I was scared. I was nervous. But more than anything, I was happy. Not that I was happy that I'm pregnant, but I'm happy that I'm sharing this journey with someone who was willing to be on the journey as well, you know? So throughout the pregnancy, Shem, he was supportive. I'm not going to lie. So we had planned, the both of us, after finding out we were pregnant, we had planned to tell our parents and maybe our friends, whatever, after 3 months of the pregnancy, right? 3 months. I am telling you, he told his mother after a month. I'm like, hi, but dude. Like, we talked about this. Is like how he was, he was super excited. He couldn't hold himself. So he told his mom. I think also his uncle. Yes, he told his mom and his uncle. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this anytime soon. So, right, he told his parents after a month, and then the pregnancy continued. So throughout these months of the pregnancy, being months, September, October, November, December. So in September, I was a month pregnant, right? And then he told his parents around September, like after a month of pregnancy. And then Umna, on December was 4 months pregnant, right? So on December, on the Christmas day, it happened that I was home was for lunch, but before that, like throughout the months, no one had seen me ekhaya. Even nasendlini, no one had seen or suspected. Okay, my little sister kind of suspected because one random day, I think it was around October, November. Light, this is light. Sap. So around October, November, my little sister was like, I don't know what he was talking about. It was me, her, and my mom apparently. So she randomly said it out of nowhere. There's a baby on his stomach. I'm like, eh? She's like, there's a baby on it. I'm like, my sister, don't do that. I haven't told this person yet, which is my mom at the time. I'm like, I haven't told this, don't do that. My mom is like, don't say that. I like, where have you heard into Njalo and stuff? Like, she started shouting at her. And she was sad, shame about it. But I was like, I'm not telling shame, even though you said it went up, but I'm not telling, I'm not confirming anything, right? So in December, on Christmas Day, we were at home for lunch and whatnot with the family, right? So during lunch, I think after lunch, before we wash the dishes, we were gonna eat dessert later on, myself or my cousins. So we decided to go out to take pictures, right? And then we took pictures, and then we were using one of my aunt's phone to take the pictures. So after taking the pictures, we sent the phone back to her so that she can send the pictures to us while we went to the kitchen to go wash the dishes. I'm gonna picture the picture. I'm gonna insert the picture somewhere. Yeah. So according to that picture, she saw there is someone in there. Like there's someone in there. And then she called me to the room, like one of the bedroom is home. She was like, she saw the pictures and like she had sent the pictures to me already now, right? So she said on one of the pictures she saw by icon into something that's happening. I'm like, what do you mean? She wait guys. Oh, so on the pictures she said she iyabona ba like ikhona into ekhoyo yabo. I'm like, what picture yabo? And then she showed me this picture, which I'm gonna put here on the screen, right? She showed me the picture. I'm like, huh? And then she's like, hey, where you're old now, at least you're older, you're not longer a teenager, so you can tell us this if you corner into and whatnot, like uyathetha. So I ended up confirming basically to Yonke Londo because she started like giving in more like, I think she was motivating me to say yes, basically. So I ended up saying yes. There is something that she asked about, like, does the father know? Have you talked about it? What's the plan and whatnot? Yeah, and then she asked me if I've told my parents yet or not. I was like, I haven't told my parents yet. And then she told me, she can tell my mom, she doesn't mind. And my dad is obviously going to find out, like, from Payana, one of my aunts going to tell her. So she's like, I'm going to, she said she will tell my parents. Yeah, that's what she said. So I was like, don't do it. I'm going to do it myself. She's like, yeah, she knows I'm still, English. So she said that she's going to tell my parents, right? And then I was like, no, it's fine. I'm going to tell my mom myself. She was like, okay. And then, wait, guys. So she's going to tell my parents, right? And then she was like, so I told her, no, don't do it. I'm going to tell my mom, go Guam. Then she was like, okay, cool. Right. And then after that, we went out the room. The day continued like nothing happened. So I think she told the rest of my aunts the following day, which is the 26th of December, while we were at the beach, because no one said anything throughout the day and night until the next morning. Like no one at home asked or said anything about the pregnancy. So I think she told them the next day, because on the second day, I mean on the 26th, which is the next day, when we came back from the beach, that's when one of my aunts, the oldest aunt, called me to the living room and asked me about it and whatnot. I told her that she asked me if I've told my parents and then whatnot. So Kenyani, my oldest aunt, right, asked about it. Like she asked questions and I like, have I told him? I've told my parents what's the plan? What yonke nje laa nto yabo. And then I told her that I haven't told my parents any. Now she's gonna tell my dad because she's the oldest, right? Right, she has to. She's the oldest, right? And I told her I'm gonna tell my mom when I get back home. She was like, okay, cool. And then now I think everyone now started to know him because they were started having concerns and stuff about my wearing jeans, like is it tight or whatnot, all that stuff, right? So yeah, that's how my family found out. And I think they were chilled about it. Like everyone was chilled. Even my cousins, both my cousins were shouting at me as to why didn't I tell them earlier and stuff. I was like, guys, how do you tell someone that you're pregnant? Like how? How do you go about that conversation, right? But okay, we were okay about it. Everyone was excited. They were happy and whatnot. There was nothing negative. I was scared that there was gonna be some negativity, like, no, you're still young, whatnot. But according to them, I wasn't young, which shocked me because now I see myself as a teenager. I'm a baby. So yeah, they were okay about it. And then I told my mom. But I told my mom, I think 3 days, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 4 days after that, right? I told my mom, and my mom was going to work at that time. She was going to work that morning, and around 9, after past 9, I figured that she was at work by that time. So I texted her. I told her via WhatsApp, I'm gonna put a screenshot somewhere here. So I sent her the picture. I took a picture of the pregnancy test because I still had it, and then I sent her the picture, and yeah, she blue ticked me. My mom blue ticked me the whole day. I was stressed out. Like I was freaking out because what do you mean, girl? You should say something. But she said nothing the whole day until she came back from work. And even when she was back from work, she didn't ask about it. Son. It's only when we were about to go sleep, like later on in the evening, that's when she talked about it. I'm like, girl, But according to the conversation that we had, she was kind of sad, yeah, disappointed and whatnot. She didn't show any sign of excitement or happiness, nix. It was just sad vibes, like according to Yena, which is cool because I understood, like she's a parent, so obviously it's a banjalo. So I think a few weeks after that, I think 3 weeks after that, we went to Eastern Cape, right? And then there was a time my aunts had said they're gonna tell my dad because they didn't want to tell him via the phone. They're gonna tell him face to face. So my dad was gonna be told that time, Eastern Cape. I don't know who messed up the plan or whatnot, but my dad found out before we were able to tell him about it. Someone had told him before we did, because when we were doing the ceremony at home at that time, he kind of hinted that, because he asked me about it, like randomly, but if like, is the baby okay? Can if I'm comfortable? I was like, hi Bo, how do you know? Who told you I have a baby? And then as soon as he told me that, I went to my aunts. I'm like, guys, have you told him or you ready? Because why is he like, why doesn't know? Because we were supposed to tell him when we leave, not now. And everyone was shocked because no one knew, but he was told. And according to us, Tina, we didn't tell him. So who told him? Like who? But he was chilled shame about it, because I remember um after like the trip to the Eastern Cape, I was going back with him to where he lives, where he stays, because I needed to do my license. My license was be expiring in like what, 3 4 months. Yes, 4 months from then. So I needed to go do my license before my stomach is very big. And they told me Payalana on the driving school that I have to like, I can't do it when I'm 7 months pregnant and above. So I needed to like do it ASAP at that time. So when we were there, Sana, guys, I think also he was part of the people who were excited, but I think his excitement or happiness was undercover, because he didn't like be like show it like my aunts, but excited, he's happy, like whatnot. But he was there, guys. He showed up and whatnot, appointments, um, and feeding me, making sure the baby's okay, asking questions and all the time. So I think my pregnancy was smooth. I feel like my pregnancy was smooth, ne? Oh, my pregnancy, I think my pregnancy was smooth, ne? And even the people around me supported me throughout it. Um, that being my parents, okay, not my mom per se, because my mom was like distance nyana in this whole thing, but I understood her way too. My dad, my aunts, my cousins, like they were there asking questions, making sure that I'm okay. Also, umfana showed up, guys. Umfana was there throughout. So yeah, it was kind of smooth, and then everything went well. I remember even when I was doing my license, I had failed it, and at that time I was already 7 months pregnant, but I couldn't like put a stop to it because my license was expiring soon. I needed to do it. It was a month before my license expired at that time, and I was already over 7 months. But I did my license for the second time. I think a week after I failed it and I passed it, I was like, jackpot. And even now, I'm still scared of being behind the wheel because I did it at that time. The emotions high, and I think also my hormones, and I wasn't myself basically because I was pregnant. And then now that I think about it, I'm like, hi Bo, how did I do it? Like, am I able to do it now, be behind the wheel and whatnot? But yeah, we two guys, that's how it's been. It was smooth sailing throughout, and I was supported. Like, the support was just on another level. I didn't tell my friends though. I only told one of my friends, Nakona. We were just having a random conversation, and it somehow came up, Ndobana. Oh, I don't remember what the conversation was about, but somewhere in the conversation I just told him that I'm pregnant. He didn't believe me though, because he called and asked via call. I told him yes, and he dropped the call and called again because he didn't believe it. But yeah, we too, everyone else found out when I had the baby. Okanye, if they found out from my family, but not me. So yeah, cool. It was cool throughout, and I loved it. Like, my pregnancy was cool. It was smooth. Yonke into ibipashash. Even the cravings. I was craving unique necks and apple munch most of the time. And I'm really not a big fan of food, so I wasn't craving anything food related. But I was a big fan of McDonald's. Every day was a McDonald's day, Gomu. Um, and I also, that's when I started doing the drinking the passion fruit McFees. That's when I started knowing about it, and it was my fave throughout my pregnancy. That was my go-to drink throughout the pregnancy. And then I also was in love with a fruit, fruit nectarine. I loved nectarine pesica, which is basic. What is basic in English? Peach. Nectarine and peach was like pashash, but I was told to not eat it a lot because okay, it's somehow gonna cause some harm in the pregnancy on the baby. So after hearing that, I stopped it completely. But yeah, the cravings, there wasn't much cravings, Sana. Even pains, I wasn't feeling much pains. It's only the third trimester where I started feeling like pains. And I throughout the pregnancy care, I was dizzy or I felt like very hot, like hot. I think Lewis I am low blood pressure I am was just peak high, especially on the third trimester. That's when Lewis low blood I was peak high. Like I was difficult at that time. But it wasn't like easy pains, ne? But it was bearable pains. But obviously because it was my first time being pregnant, I didn't tell anyone about it because I was scared. But what if it's something like bad and stuff, you know? And I also had a massive pain on top of my stomach, like throughout the third trimester. There was a pain there, but I didn't tell anyone about it because I was scared. By but what if, son? So yeah, but other than that, it was cool, shame, smooth sailing, yonke into be pashash. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys loved this or kind of enjoyed it. And then I'm going to do a part 2 about it, which is the time I was giving birth. Yes, I'm going to do the giving birth part, which is going to be a part 2. I hope you guys are ready for that. I'll see you guys on that time, on that video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So bye.